Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lennon. How you guys doing? And welcome back to yet another Faction Focus Sunday. So without further ado, let's get into it. And today we are taking a look at the Balkan tribes and specifically Getae. Like a couple of weeks ago, we already looked at the Adrisians, the RDA, and the Tilicians. So today we are looking at the Getae. And we still have the same here, mercenary upkeep cost and minus mercenary recruitment cost. Still the same bullshit. And we have the passives, maximum public order bonus for presence of Balkan culture, plus a maximum of +8 is pretty damn good. And we have fierce independence plus 20% melee attack during battles in own or allied territory. So in your early game, this is going to be very handy for when the AI inevitably starts attacking you. We have an initial hard starting challenge, so let's see what that means on the field. Okay, so here we are on the campaign map, and as Dacians, you start in a minor settlement with 2 small armies and a champion. So, yeah, I don't even know where to start. Like diplomacy, your only friend is basically the one that controls the biggest settlement in the region. So I don't know if friendship is going to last. Although they are very friendly, you have a trade agreement, military access, and you could probably get something like a non-aggression pact going within a few turns. For the rest, everybody basically is indifferent or kind of hates you. Don't really know why exactly, just because. So, expansion-wise, your options are pretty limited. Because your only friend has the main settlement, and these guys are pretty far away actually. It's like, if you would want to go there, you probably have to have at least 2 or 3 turns of movement before like even getting close, so you still have to recruit and move. And if you want to go this way, yeah, settlements are pretty far away, so expect a very slow start in the beginning. Like, and once you get a little bit more comfortable with maybe conquering Dacia and Thrace, you then have the option to either go towards the heavy hoplite factions over here, the barbarian factions over here, or the steppe factions over there. And all of them pose their own threats and pose their own difficulties. So if we start to take a look at our armies, you start with 2 little armies, which are pretty much just trash units. So best advice would probably be just get them together in one army, so you at least have some kind of a stack. Although this still is pretty shit stack, to be honest, even to start with. In Malva, you start with the Artisan Lodge already built. I just destroyed it for the sake of so that I can show you everything, all the other faction buildings as well. So, of course, as the Barbarian lines, you get your main units from the Artisan Lodge. So, at Tier 1, you get to recruit Falksmen, which are basically, compared to your Thracian warriors, very good melee attack and weapon dash for Tier 1 unit, but absolute glass cannon with nowhere near enough melee defense, no armor, low health. So, yeah, maybe your glass cannon units. And as you can see from the get-go, the only thing that we basically can recruit is either spears, which are quite shit. They have a bonus versus large, but that's basically it. They have a good melee defense and armor, so they can hold the line, but they will not kill anything. And your skirmishers, your decent skirmishers. So probably in the early game, a combination of spears on the front line and your Falksmen going in for the charge, rear charging, that sort of stuff. But expect a lot of casualties over the first few battles. Sorry about that. At level 2, you get to recruit Spear Warriors, which are a little bit of an upgrade. You have like 1 or 2 better melee attacks, a little bit more melee defense and armor. So basically a little bit better of a line holder. At Tier 3, you get absolutely nothing, which seems a little bit scandalous for even this kind of hard of a faction. And at Tier 4, you get Noble Swords and Noble Spears. So basically, the only thing you get to work with infantry-wise is spears and falxmen until you get towards tier 4, and then you get noble swords and noble spears. But that requires you the infantry chainmail tech, which is over here. So that is at least 10, 16, 20, 23. That's at least nearly 30 turns away. And you still have to be able to build it. So you're gonna go a long while with just falxmen and spears. Over here in the woodworker, you do get access to Dacian bowmen, which are pretty decent archers, but that's most of it. You do get ballistas and onagers if you want to. And cavalry wise, it is also not that good. Like, you get spear horsemen, pretty decent melee cav, bonus versus large, so they will be able to deal a lot of damage to enemy cav. At tier 3, you get access to the Dacian bowmen, which basically horse archers, good missile damage, but very, very poor melee stats. Look at that, charge bonus 4, melee defense 13, like what the hell. And at tier 4 you get the noble horseman, which is basically a upgrade from your spear horseman, so you do still have the bonus versus large, very decent charge bonus, but pretty poor melee defense as well. So army wise, you don't have a lot of options, you don't have a lot of choice, so I think that also makes it that it's a hard starting challenge, because basically you have very limited units and resources to work with in a small settlement, so you have to make options. So probably if you keep the artisan lodge and upgrade that, you won't be able to have cav or archers until you at least capture one settlement somewhere else in the vicinity. But yeah, like expanding, it's gonna be very hard to kill the Greek factions in middle game, in early or mid game with the hoplites. I don't think they will go down that easily towards spears and falxmen. Your horse archers, your falxmen are dead before they even get towards the horse archers. So that is a difficult place to start expanding. And the barbarian factions also have way more options and better options to deal with you. So army composition wise, you do have a very, very big challenge on your hands. So I would say this is probably a 6 or 6.5 on a rating. It can be an interesting campaign, but it's going to be a lot of the same armies, the same sort of fights you're going to have to do. And it's going to be getting a lot of your ass kicked and your army destroyed, just basically because your units don't have any sign of defensive anything, basically. So with that being said, for a challenge campaign, I think this is going to be a very hard challenge campaign, especially if you want to do it like this is Total War. Although you do get the extra 20% melee attack in your own region, so on the defense your units might be a little bit better. But on the offense, well, it's gonna get ugly and it's gonna be hard. So that being said, I think that's most of everything I can say about the Getae. So overall, very minor faction, very basically interesting starting position, pretty hard to expand and to deal with all the more options of units you have around you. But it's interesting nevertheless. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys do it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.